Yeah, boy.
Man, what a damn beautiful view, man.
Hey, how you doing, yo? Jeez, you all scared me, man. JTV crew, salute, what's good? Today, before we do get into this beautiful video of knowledgeable geographical geography of Cape Verde, I just want to say, hey, Jay, play some sad background song for what I'm about to say. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last few days in this beautiful island which I call home and paradise. You feel me? Heaven. Back to reality, man. I tell you, man. Just to let some of y'all know and aware that this channel is for music reactions, but plus it says in the intro for vlogs. Future wise, if you're ready for some lit bangers, man, I tell you, some daily vlogs, some reactions to things that actually matter in this world. This is what I'm trying to get into more. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about just music reaction. I'm trying to do more geography stuff, trying to do more things about, you know, people's lives or what goes on this earth. You feel me? If y'all have any video that y'all want me to check out that is real meaningful, or any videos like this that we're gonna be checking out, geography, hit me down below which country, or just, you know what I'm saying, hit a link down below and let me know what you want to react to. Remember, I'm trying to go into more meaningful things in life, what matters. Now today, like I said, we be checking out, like we did with Chile, this time we're doing Cape Verde, my second home island. Yes sir. So before we do get into this beautiful video, what do I know about Cape Verde, or what do I think I know? Before y'all start hitting me down in the comment section, but down below, and giving me dislikes like you're fishing for fish. Cape Verde consists of, I think it's 9 or 10 islands. Hang on a sec, man. You got Santantown, São Vicente, Santa Luzia, Sal, Boa Vista, Praia, which is the capital of Cape Verde, Santiago. You know what I'm saying? That's where my background be from. And then you got Fogo, you got Brava. Oh, sugar, man. I feel like I'm missing an island, bro. Really apologize. I can only remember 8, man. This is so bad of me, bro. What else do I know about Cape Verde? You cannot talk about Cape Verde and not mentioning the national dish, which is cachupa, baby. You know what I'm saying? Woo! The genre of music that they create, some of y'all probably think is on, but no. We are talking about funana, and let me give you a quick sneak preview. This is my most favorite funana from Cape Verde. I really dig that song, man. So the genre of funana is from Cape Verde, bro. I love funana, man. Something special. Another thing that I know about Cape Verde is like it's the start of hurricanes, if you know what I'm saying. So basically it's like, if I ain't wrong, it's like you got like a cooler type air coming in, you got a warm type air coming in, and it compresses between Cape Verde, and I don't know if it's in the Cape Verde soil or just off the, like on the sea of Cape Verde. It creates hurricanes and boom, it flies all the way up to USA, sorry yo, and then sometimes it flies all the way over to Madeira Islands, my second home, and then sometimes to Azores, and then sometimes it decides to go all the way to like Europe, UK type sides, man. It has happened. Last year I think it went all the way to like France, and I think Portugal it touched a bit. Cape Verde is part of Macronesia. I didn't say Micronesia. The differences, you know what I'm saying, not Micronesia Islands, but Macronesian Islands. They consist of islands, which is of course is Cape Verde. You've got Canary Islands, you got Madeira Islands, you have Azores Islands. Now that is the whole thing of Macronesian Islands. I'm sure he will touch on these subjects that I am talking about. Now these islands do get on very well. When it comes into like politics, they all see each other in each other's islands and discuss whatever they need to discuss. So we're very good close friends. Now a joke I like to run, it's not really a funny joke, but it's still under hashtag, you know, joke. Cape Verde, if y'all didn't know, of course it's in the template and it's in Africa, you feel me? But did y'all know it's right next to Spain? Yeah, y'all probably thinking Jay's gone off the head, man. I know it's next to Senegal, off Africa, the west coast. But check me out though. Why I say that is because, not the Azores Islands, because they're like in the Atlantic Ocean, like higher up above, in the middle of the ocean, you know what I'm saying? You got Madeira Islands, which is part of Portugal, but has a little part that's independent from Portugal. Pontinha, if y'all really want to know. Yeah, that'll be coming up in Portugal session. Don't worry, I got loads to say in that one too. Then you have the Canary Islands. And the Canary Islands is part of Spain. No half independence, no nothing like that. Yes, Cape Verde is just slightly down below from Canary Islands, and Canary Islands, of course, is Spain. That's why the whole joke, you get it? There's Spain and Cape. Never mind. For y'all that got it, well, you got it. You know? Cape Verde. Official language is Portuguese. Most of the people in the island speak Cape Verdean Creole, which is, it's got two differences. The up above islands, which is Sobrevent, if I ain't wrong, y'all, I'm sure he's going to tell us as well. They speak Sampajur, and then the bottom, lower islands, they speak Badil. So there is a type difference. For me personally, don't shoot your boys, is what I hear through my ears. My ears are kind of different, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some of y'all may have a different opinion, which is fair enough. We all have different views. The up above islands slightly have a bit more of like a understanding of Portuguese type of ish. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of make out. And the Badil is kind of tougher, man. Bro, man. If y'all asking Jay, does Jay know Cape Verdean Creole? I mix my ish up from the upper and the lower islands. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I could say Tio. Today I could say Mudi Bosta. Tomorrow I just might forget and say Mane or Manera. Bro, sometimes it's just the way I learned and grew up, bro. I'm really trying to learn, bro. Trust me. When there's a language I really want to learn, bro, man, I really dig it, man. I've been learning Cape Verdean Creole on my own, bro, watching like videos and, you know, seeing a couple of words here and there that it always stays in my mind, or I take a screenshot and always remember it, man. I really want to learn deep and tough. Man, when I tell you, man, Cape Verde has beautiful weather, beautiful islands. Ladies are so gorgeous, rare, unique. Beautiful ladies up in this earth, man. Some words, by the way, in the Cape Verdean Creole might be a touch of the Portuguese, like a few words here and there. And the only thing I can say that's like one word that's in Spanish is, instead of saying pracima like they do in Portuguese, they say riba, which is like, of course, in Spanish. There's a thing that I have to say in this video that some of y'all may agree, some of y'all may not agree, but I have a cousin in San Vicente Island, and he agrees too. Like I said and I mentioned, I am half from the Madeira Islands. Now, our way of speaking, should I say, it's not the language, but it's our dialect of the way we say words. It's just like the San Vicente, or should I say more of the Santantown type of dialects. It's like the words are more stretched out, and I'm sure you're from that Santantown and have met a Madeirense. Whoa, definitely know. My cousin just laughed and he said, wow, he just sits back and be like, Jay, y'all definitely sound like it. I do really love like Santantown, San Vicente. I haven't been anywhere else to say. I've seen other images from like Fogo, very different. Some of you maybe have seen some ish on the news like a few years back when a volcano erupted. Santantown and San Vicente, in the slightest way, should I say, or maybe another island, remind me a lot of the Madeira Islands. Like the Madeira Islands has like greenery, it's got mountains past the cloud, just like Santantown do. Very, very gorgeous. I consider y'all to go and hit it up. San Vicente, or we can say another island, it kind of reminds me of another second island that Madeira Islands has, which is Port Santo in the archipelago. Port Santo. So they kind of look similar in the type feel, and that consists of 4 islands. The most furthest island we've got is right next to the Canary Islands, called the Salvage Islands. By the way, if y'all wanting to know Madeira Islands, I will touch more on that in the Portuguese session. Sorry for the long talking. I really wanted to get my ish across. Thank you yet again to Paul for Geography Now Cape Verde. I'm gonna be checking out a video which definitely will help me and help us. We're gonna learn more about my roots, and hopefully y'all enjoy it as much as hopefully I will. Learning a bit more of things I haven't mentioned or stated, especially like history and stuff like that. But without further ado, family crew, let's get straight in. So,
hey guys, I know this country is also known as Cabo Verde. Look, I already made the Cambodia video. Just deal with it. I can't turn back time. It's time to learn geography now! Hey Geography peeps, I'm your host Barbie. Welcome to one of the few places in the world I like to call a African country. We'll explain more about that in a bit, but first... The flag consists of a blue field with 3 horizontal bands of red and white in the lower portion of the flag, and 10 stars in a circular pattern overlapping the bands on the left side. The blue represents the ocean and the sky, the white represents the road to construction and development of the nation, and the red represents the effort of the people. And the 10 stars represent each of the 10 main islands that make up the nation. Moving on. Now, I love island nations because generally you don't have to worry about border disparities. Haiti, Dominican Republic, you guys are killing me. But also because you get to expound on each individual island in the nation's sovereignty as separate entities, unless if the nation is only on one island, which is why Barbados was so frustrating. Which, by the way, Rihanna, you still haven't hit me up yet. Anyway, Cape Verde is located off of the west coast of Africa, about 400 nautical miles from Senegal. And remember, people, nautical miles are longer than regular miles, and it has something to do with the curvature of the earth. I don't know, I'm not one of those people that does the teaching of that expert thing. Cape Verde is in the southernmost part of the Macaronesia ecoregion in the archipelagos all along the coast of Africa, including the Canary, Madeira, and Azores Islands.
By the way, you said Madeira, it's Madeira. Bro, why did everyone get that name wrong? It's Madeira, bro. It's translation Portuguese into the English. It's meant to be wood, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's go slightly back. Madeira.
In the Canary, Madeira, and Azores Islands, Cape Verde is the only fully sovereign state in these islands, and the rest are owned by either Spain or Portugal. The country is made up of a
slight bit, Madeira, slight bit.
Cluster of 10 main islands shaped into a sideways V or a horseshoe. Furthermore, the islands are regionally split up into 2 separate groups. The upper Barlavento Islands, Santo Antão, São Vicente, Santa Luzia, São Nicolau, Sal, and Boa Vista, as well as the lower Sotavento Islands, Maio, Santiago, Fogo, and Brava.
Oh my gosh, I missed Mayo and Seneca. Oh my god. Bro, I'm so sorry, y'all.
The islands are split up into 22 municipalities. Only 4 islands have multiple municipalities. And home to about 1/5 of the entire country's population, the capital, Praia, is located on the lower and largest island, Santiago. Santiago in itself has about 40% of the population of the entire country, and the next most populous one is São Vicente. The least populated one being Santa Luzia, which has no permanent population and is home to a nature reserve, but is still considered one of the main islands. Also keep in mind,
just like the Madeira Islands, we have Salvage Islands and the Desert Islands, which have a view of, no habits. It used to be people populating, people used to live over there, but not anymore. Apparently rocks keep falling just like this island do, but hey, nature reserve, there you go.
Verde also has many minor islands and islets that they don't really talk about much, like Ilho Branco, Ilho Raso, Ilho Rabo de Junco, off of Sal Island, Ilho del Sal Rey, and Ilho de Cima.
But these are like small little rocks. People couldn't live in these small little islands, you know what I'm saying?
Off of Brava. By the way, that shipwreck off of Boa Vista doesn't count. Neither is this strange cluster of converging waves that I thought was an island, but found out it wasn't. Yeah, guys, I like to scan Google Maps a lot. It's very therapeutic for me. These islands have quite a story behind them, wrapped up in both social and physical features. The latter one we will discuss in... The thing about Cape Verde is that
Bro, this guy in this image, I keep thinking it's a finger being thrown at me, you know what I'm saying? Literally. Wow.
You kind of see this landscape feature pattern shift go from east to west. The eastern islands of Maio, Sal, and Boa Vista are flat and arid with a desert-like terrain, whereas the western islands are generally rockier, hosting substantially larger portions of vegetation. The reason for this is that even though the islands are off the coast of mainland Africa, Cape Verde is still affected by the Sahelian arid belt, which is part of the Sahel, or that messed up battleground between the Sahara and savannas of Africa that we already discussed like 2 episodes ago. Hi, if you're new to this channel, just pause the video and then open up another tab and look up Benin and Burkina Faso on this channel, and then come back here. Alright, cool. The thing is, the hot, dry, eroding Harmattan winds meander all the way off the coast and sweep across the easternmost islands of Cape Verde. That's why these 3 islands are dry and desert-like. The western islands, however, although still relatively dry, still have steep hills and mountains that harbor trees and grasses and bushes and plants. This is also where most of the agricultural sector can be found, most notably on the greenest island, Brava. With a lack of water sources, though, arable land only makes about 10% of the country. Soil is good, but when sparsely timed rainfall does come, it typically comes in the form of violent storms that wash off the topsoil from higher grounds into the sea. The strange thing is, the country doesn't receive cold streams that typically affect the rest of Western Africa, so even though the temperature is generally cooler, the water is still warm. The issue with that, though, is that it kind of makes Cape Verde the perfect factory for creating hurricanes. Now, here's where Cape Verde is kind of like a little rascal. Even though they themselves are almost never really affected by hurricanes, Cape Verde's warm waters and cool air breed some of the most violent and intense western-bound...
Also, I was kind of right then. Yeah, I thought I took an L. At the end of the day, I took a dub. I love these knowledgeable videos, bro.
Hurricanes that eventually hit the Caribbean and east coast of North America. Hey, Cape Verde, no, put down that moisture and gesture. No, put it down, put it down. Did I do that? I'm not saying Cape Verde wants to create these hurricanes. I'm just saying sometimes they go into a dissociative state while committing international atrocities. Cape Verde...
Hey man, Mother Nature, what can you do? You have no say in it.
Only has 3 volcanoes, only one of which is still active on Fogo Island. The highest peak in the country, Pico do Fogo, last erupted in 2014. Now, if you look at Fogo Island, it's pretty creepy because you can tell how big the volcano used to be until the caldera disintegrated into a massive crater with flanks and fissures to the east that dispersed into the sea. Now, despite the lush green areas...
That kind of reminds me of the Caribbean islands, Montserrat, bro, man.
They do lack a lot of resources, and the majority of the economy is service-oriented. Now let's talk about who's doing the service. Sometimes you can really read a lot about a country based off of the people who live there. Ethnic makeup can kind of tell you a little bit of a story, and Cape Verde has quite a story. When it comes to Cape Verde, the country has a little bit over 500,000 people. About 2 out of every 5 live on Santiago Island. The country's ethnic makeup...
And I'm guessing the most Cape Verdeans live in out of Cape Verde, I take probably like say Portugal and Netherlands probably. Oh, USA too.
It is pretty unique in that, kind of like Brazil, the country experienced a whole societal generation shift in which they kind of created a whole new race, so to speak. As a former Portuguese colony and short-lived Portuguese province overseas, Cape Verde has absorbed not just a lot of Portuguese influence, but blood too. Intermarriages and relations between the Portuguese and Africans that were brought over hundreds of years ago eventually led to the country experiencing an entire people group of mixed ancestry. Many of these people are referred to as mestizos, or the Creole. Many have claimed that Cape Verdean Creoles are some of the most beautiful people in the world, with features that you pretty much can't find anywhere else. It's not uncommon for a person to have dark brown skin hinting at the African ancestry, but with blonde hair and blue or green eyes and slight Germanic features. That being said,
man, I tell you, so beautiful, man. Cape Verdeans, man, drop dead gorgeous. Guys, no homo. I'm talking about the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Fellas, that's your own world, man. You think about how you gonna take that.
Creoles make up somewhere around 80% of the population, whereas Africans make up about 23%, the remaining 2% being mostly whites, but a sizable community of Asians and Arabs exist as well. Sociologically speaking, Cape Verde is almost kind of like a cross between Brazil and Haiti, in which ethnically they've kind of developed their own racial identity, but also they've created their own Creole language. The problem is, unlike Haiti though, Cape Verdean Creole had problems with becoming standardized, and especially since the dialect differed from island to island. Now, the funny thing is, there's actually more Cape Verdean people living outside of Cape Verde than in it. The US alone has a population of Cape Verdeans mostly along the New England coast that almost match the entire population of Cape Verde itself at around 500,000. And that's just the US. You have hundreds of thousands of...
Say, what? What? 500, bro? Oh, goddamn, bro. That's so damn, bro. I know that's in was it Rhode Island or New Bedford? I know there's quite a few mix of Cape Verdean and Madeirans living on that side too.
Cape Verdeans living in other places abroad like Angola, Portugal, Senegal, France, Spain, Italy, even Luxembourg for some reason. And that's just a generation after 1975. Prior to independence, Cape Verdeans had Portuguese passports, so it's hard to get an exact number, but overall these guys...
Quick question. Cape Verde. In Cape Verde nowadays, if you're born, you have a child, and you register your child, can y'all still have like or opt for Cape Verdean, or still can get eligible to get a Cape Verdean and Portuguese and a Cape Verdean passport? That's what I don't know about nowadays. Oh, another thing, that this is an update version to this video. Now in Cape Verde, if you are like a European, if you hold a European passport, you now may travel to beautiful, gorgeous Cape Verde visa free. Amazing.
Know how to spread out. Of course, as a Lusophone country, hey guys, that word I just used, Lusophone, it means speaking Portuguese, just for future reference.
Yeah, some of you have already probably that watch my videos in depth will understand I've used this word a couple of times doing reactions to Cape Verde music, or you know what I'm saying, just Portuguese or African speaking countries reaction, you know what I'm saying, music reactions to Angola, you know, Mozambique, Timor-Leste, Brazil, so on and so on. That's the whole Lusophone, yeah, you know.
Like Angola and Sao Tome and Principe, Cape Verde has a culture distinct yet noticeably influenced by the Portuguese. The education system, the second best in all of Africa after South Africa, does follow the Portuguese format. However, in 2010, all universities switched to the 4-year American bachelor degree program instead of 5 years, which made students very happy. Island individual-wise, you do see a slight contrast between peoples in each area. Due to the high diaspora population, each island kind of chooses which country it wants to be prevalently influenced by. Some lean more towards Portugal, some towards the US, some Netherlands, and even Brazil. This has led to a renaissance of innovatively produced Cape Verdean music and dance, the hallmark national tone being the morna, a melancholy rhythm typically sung in Creole. Nonetheless, leading poet Jorge Barbosa kind of summarizes the islands in his 1935 publication of Archipelago. Look it up yourselves, guys. The poem is like 200 lines long, and reading it to you is not my job. Anyway,
Swear to God, he didn't even mention Funana. Oh, that's nuts.
The thing about Cape Verde is that it's incredibly unique in that it has such a cross-cultural complexity. It's not quite African and it's not quite Portuguese, yet it's somewhere half of each, hence Halfrican. They're proud of it, and they've long thought of themselves of having the best of both worlds between Europe and Africa. Harmony is such a beautiful thing, especially in the...
Before we go into the, I'm guessing, friend zone, like, I don't know, but hit me up down below. Is Cape Verde very safe at the moment? Like, which parts would you hit up? I know, you know, every country in this world has a bit of issues and a bit of crime here and there. But I'm sure, like, you do have safer islands and all that. Just hit me up. What's the crime rate? I mean, what's it like? I really want to know. I really want to know. I do want to visit my background. By the way, I don't know if he gonna mention it. He hasn't mentioned it yet, and we're almost coming to the end of the video. Now, Cape Verde has... The currency of Cape Verde is the Cape Verdean escudos. Portugal, before they got into the freaking whole Euros-ish, money, currency, talking about that. They used to have escudos as well. That was the best life. When escudos was there, man, it was the best life, man. Euros come and brushed everything and made everything go loco. But hey, let's see if you're gonna mention that. I don't know. He hasn't said it yet, so that's why I thought I'd mention it.
Okay, so without even really having to explain much, you can kind of pretty much guess how much Portugal plays into their international engagements. First of all, yes, Portugal is a key player in Cape Verde's inner circle, not just because of their ancestry, but because of their support diplomatically and economically. Even after they gained independence, they still remain close and appreciate each other's company. The U.S. harbors the largest Cape Verdean community outside of Cape Verde and has historically invested in the country's welfare even before independence. Out of the 10 international destinations that their national airline flies to, 2 of them are actually in the U.S., one in Boston and one in Providence, Rhode Island. Lucifer nations like Brazil and Angola and Sao Tome and Principe get along with Cape Verde as well. Trade and travel between these nations is not uncommon. However, the best friend of Cape Verde would probably be Guinea-Bissau. These 2 countries actually were part of the same country after independence, but then after a coup in Guinea-Bissau in 1981, the 2 countries split but still remain close in ties. They have similar Creole cultures, languages, and backgrounds.
And just to add, I know this got nothing to do with Cape Verde, but just to add, if anyone else is watching, it's just like the Madeira Islands and the Azores Islands. A long time ago, when they were fighting for independence against Portugal, they were one, and then obviously they just done their own thing after, and one decided to carry on with independence. Madeira Islands and Azores just opted not to carry on. But like I said, that's for the Portugal one.
And to this day, Cape Verdeans consider Guinea-Bissau their brother country. In conclusion, you have a beautifully mixed people living in a beautifully mixed culture on a sociopathic chain of islands that shoots out hurricanes.
Okay, so I've probably informed you guys a tiny bit more of Cape Verde than he did. That's tough! You feel me? That's nuts. Dude, nuts. But thank you very much, y'all, for watching. I appreciate it. Like I said, if y'all have any other meaningful videos, anything that would teach me out there, anything about, you know what I'm saying, even if you want me to do the same as what I just did to your country, reaction, hit me down below. I'll be more than happy to do it. You feel me? This channel ain't only about music reactions. I do want to knowledge myself. I do want to learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here to put my input, motivate y'all. But I like this. Thank you very much, Barbie, aka Paul, doing the Cape Verdean geography type-ish side of things. Family crew, I'm gonna see you on another day's upload. Hopefully you've enjoyed a bit about my background, and we will see you real soon. I'm out.